Well, I think during that period, I think it's understood and well chronicled that you know, the only way to move things is, you know, through coalition building, and so that you know, that's part of how ACWA got formed, was working with the African American construction workers and, you know, developing those right type of relationships. And during that period, in which we needed to formalize a process of which how we're going to how are you going to take on the Philippine government or the U.S. government based upon the murders of our 2 union officials? You needed to have allies, and the community came together based on the relationships that, you know, Somi and Jean built, and what it meant to lose these guys that way pulled people together. And having that said, you know, through the other things that, you know, that Somi and Jean did outside of the cannery workers, is, you know, anti-Marcos type of things, and you know, seemed, and also the relationships that they built with community groups in San Francisco and through the Los Angeles and through the whole West Coast. I mean, they were able to you know, work that, and, you know, through you know, Cindy Domingo and Namisho, the siblings of Somi, you know, they were able to plug into utilizing that network, and it's amazing how sometimes that works to you know, pull people together in a tragedy, and how we're able to overcome and do that. And so there's a lot of people who are, you know, were involved. A lot of people who had skills and who are activists. Who at that time, you know, Michael Whitty, who was one of the lawyers, and a lot of the other legal minds who worked pro bono to do some of this stuff, and you know, assisted in helping you know, try to put this process together. You know, and this took a lot of bodies, a lot of people who were able to coalesce and bring this stuff together in terms of, okay, what's important here, and the justice that you know, was served, I think you know, compelled people to, you know, to continue on, because there was an injustice. Not only that these brothers died, but why did they die, and for what reason, and to, you know, to find out why, and to do that, and books be written about that. I mean, shows that, you know, what the, you know, what this what our system, and, you know, what this society is, you know, where we live. And it's not surprising necessarily when you do the investigation and you do some of the things that, you know, it's not what it's necessarily made out to be. And it's unfortunate that it happened, you know, on the backs of these 2 brothers. But you know, I think that you know, we can look back on that and see how we, you know, how we were able to overcome some of that. And so by anything that, and we continue to use that sort of forum in terms of trying to move issues. I mean, regardless whether it's community issues or, you know, politics, you know, how do you overcome in doing that? And back then, you know, just piggybacking up on the Vietnam War and how people were so active in terms of that generation, how you were able to move people. I mean, it's a different type of deal now, and because people are more in tune to their own thing. But when you're dealing with tragedy, and you're dealing with, you know, problems, you know, how do you overcome that? And so that you know, is the man going to get you down, or are you going to try to stand up to him?